My companion art piece, Lampworked Beads by Kim Peters. I began this semester with a pretty positivistic attitude. In my view, the most I could do to bend towards a qualitative position is to proclaim myself a pragmatist. I stated that I was willing to look at any research methodology as a methodology outside of a positivistic or interpretivistic mindset. I believed one could make a successful argument that it is not necessary to proclaim how one understands the world of knowledge if the technique was used and understood. As I learned more about my research interests and my chosen methodology, I learned that I am more of a constructivist than I thought. The creation of lampwork beads demonstrates some of my views. In this slide, I am showing all the essential tools of the trade. In my left hand is a glass rod which is melted to a liquid form to create the bead. Once the glass is liquid, it is placed on a mandrel which has been prepared with a product called bead release. As a side note, failure to use bead release will result in the creation of lovely metal swizzle sticks because glass sticks to metal. Most importantly, fire is needed, and I use MAP gas as my fuel. The white cotton-looking thing in the back is a cooling pad for the beads. I focus on achieving as round of a shape as possible. It is more difficult than one might imagine, and it requires a steady hand. As the flame continues to keep the glass liquid, the mandrel is turned and the glass is worked. It is important to understand the heat which comes from the flame as well as the properties of the glass, because too much heat on an opaque glass, for example, will burn the pigment and turn the bead a smoky, unappealing gray. An important feature to remember about glass is that after it has been worked in the flame, the glass is still incredibly hot. Even though the beads look formed and ready, they must cool. If the glass is dunked in water before they're cooled, the beads will shatter. After the crafting session is over for the day, the top cooling pad is placed on top of the hot glass. It usually takes a full 24 to 36 hours for the glass beads to cool enough to pull off the mandrel. After the beads have been removed from the mandrels, there is still work to be done. This picture shows what the beads look like. Notice that there is a significant amount of bead release on the beads. For every need, there is a tool. Dental Proxa brushes, which can be purchased at any grocery store, make wonderful bead cleaners. I created a clear bead to show the bead release and how the brush works. The next stage is to find a way to present the beads. In this case, I chose to use a bracelet I made using the Viking wire weaving technique. In the picture, you can see the assorted beads, the tools that I used to create the bracelet itself, and some jump rings to attach the beads to the wire bracelet. Finally, I have a finished product, lampworked beads on a Viking wire woven bracelet. As I stated at the beginning, I started this class as a sidestep from positivism. Over the course of the semester, my views have altered. By embracing the discourse analysis, one of the constructivist methodologies which lends itself to a positivistic bent, I found a way to address my primary area of interest, teacher positionalities. I see the creation of my bracelet as a metaphor for the research process used in discourse analysis. The glass rods are the discourse. The laying of the molten glass on the mandrel is the scouring of the data for themes. The shaping and cleaning of the beads is the coding analysis. Putting the beads on the bracelet allows for the final product to be viewed and appreciated. To move towards a constructivist mindset, considering my previous positionality, means walking towards a fuller view of methodology. As depicted in this video, it may be an uphill trek for me, but I take faith in Frost's observation about the road not taken, which he describes as the choice that made all the difference for him. I think my choices to move towards constructivism will also make all the difference for me.